morning, everyone. Welcome to the Frightfully Good Hour with Anne and Renata, all the way from Australia. My name is Anne Rekovich. I am a paranormal investigator, have been so for over 10 years now, but have been interested in the paranormal and the spiritual for decades.
Because she's that old.
Oh, and I own Oz Paratech, which is Australia's largest online paranormal equipment store.
And my name is Renata Daniel, and I am a psychic tarot card reader. I have my own business, which is Newcastle Ghost Tours, which I've been running now for 11 years, and paranormal investigator as well, alongside Anne. So we do go out and do private cases. We also have True Hauntings podcast, which is now on iTunes and Spotify. And today, actually, we're going to be talking about one of the cases that we did research on and did a True Hauntings podcast episode, which is all about Annabelle. That's why these gorgeous girls are sitting behind us here. And so we do podcasts, we do local radio here in Newcastle as well. We are on TikTok, going crazy at the moment because we do something called Ghost Hunters React on TikTok. And we seem to continually be on social media at the moment. As much as people hate it, as much as people deride the fact that people go on social media for likes and things, we're there.
Yep.
So we're owning it.
But in actual fact, I love every minute of doing this because some of the comments we get from people show that they're really enjoying the information. So it never started out being just for likes or anything like that. It was building a community of like-minded people.
So good morning, Kelly and Jody and
Hi, Michelle.
Jessica and Michelle, and living on
Oh,
Earth.
Alabama, wow.
Hello, Deborah. Yeah, great. Let us know where you are watching or listening from. That would be awesome.
The way this will work today is that we will start off with our little talk about Annabelle, and then we'll do some Q&A, and then we'll do a couple of cards.
I might chuck a couple of cards in between.
Oh.
Keep them all on their toes.
Oh, okay.
So you just never know when it's going to happen.
Never know.
Because that's how you do things in Australia. You just
Upside
shock
down.
people. Michelle, we're good. Thank you very much. We're actually going to a place called Norfolk Island at the end of this week. And Norfolk Island...
Good God, Zach's up.
Hello, Zach. My goodness. Did you have a really late night or is this an early morning? Norfolk Island sits just outside of the Australian coastline. It's probably about the same distance from Australia as it is to New Zealand. So it's out in the middle of the ocean, but it is part of Australian history and part of Australia. And originally, many of the convicts actually went to Norfolk Island before they came to the mainland, or vice versa. Norfolk Island was literally a prison without walls. It didn't need to be because it was surrounded by water.
I miss California, Annie. I miss it so much.
So we're heading there for a week. And we're going to be recording, we're going to be doing lots and lots of paranormal investigations. We're going to be sending out lots of photos. So if you haven't already registered and liked our page, which is Frightfully Good, Anne and Renata Frightfully Good, head on there for all the information about what we're going to be heading into when we hit Norfolk Island in a couple of days.
Couple of days. I'm so excited that it's a couple of days. The problem being is there's not much in the way of internet on Norfolk Island, so we will do our best. It's a little early for us girls. We were up doing a show last night and then up doing a show this morning. But the Paranormal United Network very kindly offered us a permanent spot on their show, and we thought this is a great way to meet all our American, Canadian and UK, Europe people, because this is nighttime for you guys, I do believe.
Yeah. And I wonder if there's a lot to see on TV over there. Tell us.
Oh, they've got so many channels in America.
Australia, there's not much to see on TV anymore. I think everyone is on Netflix or something else. Not a lot of people watch TV.
All right, shall we get on with some information? All right,
yes.
So we've got two special guests with us today.
Oh, do we?
We do. Oh.
The
Annabelles.
Careful.
Shall we bring them over to say hello?
Oh, this is a little bit kinky. It's like two old ladies with dolls.
What? I don't know what her idea of kinky is, but mine is somewhat different.
I just realised this. Anybody that's just come on right now, they think, what the hell's going on?
Oh, I've got my hand up a skirt. That's even worse. All right, by the way, we have a very wicked sense of humour, so just be prepared. Anything can happen. Right, so, who have you got?
I have Annabelle. Who have you? Don't.
You're not Annabelle. I'm the real Annabelle. I'm a ventriloquist now.
Yeah.
So, this is what the real Annabelle looked like. This one here, a bit bigger than this one. She is a Raggedy Ann doll. And she has the I love you on her chest, so she is a real one. This one is quite old. I'd say she's from the 70s, which Renata... Renata, put it down.
Got no defence.
She also looks like she's had a baby because she's got that baby belly happening. Bless her.
Oh, dear.
Renata!
I might put underpants on her.
She hasn't had enough coffee yet this morning. No. It's a little bit of a worry.
Right.
So this is the one that was bought for a lady called Donna by her mother from... what do they call it? A craft store. I believe you call it a craft store. Craft hobby store in America, which we weren't sure when we were recording True Hauntings what that was, but it turns out that it is where you can buy arts and crafts and that sort of stuff. So she was a brand new doll and wasn't anything extraordinary about her at all.
Flat head, hasn't she?
She does. She's got bed hair. Don't make fun of Annabelle. She'll make you crash your bike or something.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, God. All right. So, as I said, we covered this in True Hauntings. Oh, you had an Andy.
Oh.
Yeah. The Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy.
That's
there was a
true.
series of books on them, and she's very cuddly. You can actually sort of feel that a child would have loved this doll before she was demonised, a poor little bugger. All right, so, have you got the history, Renata? In 1970, a mother purchased this doll for her daughter as a gift.
Yes.
It was a birthday present.
Yeah,
yes.
This was Donna. And Donna was going to live out of home and to do nursing.
Yeah,
so she was going to college.
Graduating with a nursing degree. She lived in a tiny apartment with her roommate, Angie, right?
And that's where the problems started because Angie had a boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's just throw the whole story out straight away, shall we?
No, keep going,
They noticed straight away that the doll would start to move. At first it was just little tiny movements here and there, and then it would be like a leg up and standing up and doing strange things around the house. And then eventually it started to move into completely different rooms. So they'd put it down in one room and come back home that day from work and find it in a different room. But can I just firstly, excuse me, Annabelle, I just stick my hand up your pants.
What?
They were saying things like...
can I just... Eddie Joy White, why are you... Edie, why are you two here now?
Yeah, I know.
Just
I know you're sick of us.
To bring you joy at the end of your day. Beginning of your day.
This gorgeous is for our American and Europe and UK friends.
Love you, Edie.
Right.
Have a good day.
Edie's one of our regulars. So they were saying things that she would move different positions, and they would find her with her legs crossed, which that's doable, but they have a tendency to fall off. Not the legs, but they would fall off. they would have her arms folded. Now, it's actually hard to maintain folded arms without them just falling out of position. She would be found upright, so I mean that might be like that instead of, but she's very floppy, so she'd have to be propped on something, and standing on her feet.
Oh.
Just saying, right? Standing on her feet.
Ouch.
Can't do it.
Poor Annabelle.
Once again, she'd have to be propped up somewhere. And they'd also find her in a different room with doors closed. Then it got on to how they discovered the name of Annabelle. So they started to get a little bit worried. Little messages started to turn up on parchment.
Yes. Help me and help Lou. They were the messages. Now, they were scrawled on parchment note that did not come from their apartment. So they had no idea where this paper came from.
Annie, no, I've seen pictures of the actual Annabelle. I haven't been able to go to the house, the museum, and have a look. They've had to actually stop the museum because of COVID, so nobody can actually go see it. So
they called in a psychic.
Yeah, they called in a psychic, and the psychic came in and they called in the psychic because they found drops of blood on Annabelle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, just a couple of drops, nothing big. And they don't even know it was blood, it was just red. So this is where they contacted a medium and they held a seance, as you do.
As you do.
And this lovely medium said that they had the spirit of Annabelle Higgins, who was a 7-year-old girl. 7-year-old girl that had lived in that space in that area before that house was built, and it was lovely rural land, and that her body was found lifeless on the field in which the apartment complex now stands.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard other stories where she was hit and run from a car accident out the front of the house, so there's a couple of different stories based on that, and also a couple of different ages. The spirit medium said that she felt comfortable with Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them and be loved. Feeling compassion, so Donna gave permission for Annabelle the spirit to inhabit the doll. I was soon to find out that Annabelle was not what she appeared. Oh, God. You have to listen to the True Hauntings account of Renata talking about what happened to Lou. All right, so first off, we've got the doll moving around the apartment. We've got a couple of little spots of red appearing on Annabelle. The notes, help me, help Lou. Why Lou?
Yes.
This is a red flag to me. Why Lou?
Mm-hmm. Now, Lou, again, is the boyfriend of Donna's flatmate, Angie.
Yeah, Lou, they're friends with them. Now, Lou openly states he was never fond of the doll, never liked it, and several occasions warned Donna that it was evil and to get rid of it. So he has planted the idea that he doesn't like dolls. Now, many people don't like dolls, do they, Crispy?
It's the eyes. Look.
Her eyes are foul.
It's the eyes. Look.
So she's the movie Annabelle. She got a black head at the moment. Just excuse that on her chin.
I'll squeeze that later. That could be a TikTok. Squeezing the black head off. Oh, keep going.
All right. So, Deborah, you are saying that she was a demon. We'll get to that. There is doubt. So we've got the word of a medium. I don't know who this medium was. I don't know what her ability was like. I don't know whether she was gifted or whether she was somebody who claimed to be a medium and it was actually ego that was speaking and she was making it all up. You don't know. It could have been someone who was just ripping them off to get some money to turn up and do a seance. We don't have that information, and there is no accounts anywhere of a 7-year-old Annabelle who was found dead in that area. Yeah? So tell them about Lou. What happened to Lou?
Okay, so Lou was friends, like I said, with Donna and Angie. Lou stayed overnight because
naughty Lou.
No, because
70s.
But also these girls did shift work. So occasionally Angie was there on her own, and Donna was at work, and vice versa. And so Lou stayed over, and apparently one night the doll attacked Lou. So this is the big issue. The doll attacked Lou while he was sleeping. He woke up, found the doll staring at him at the end of the bed, and then she crawled up him and started to choke him.
Right, so he's awoken in sheer terror, running out, and they found on his chest 7 scratches. Mm-hmm. There were 4 going one way and 3 going cross-hatched across it. Now, these scratches didn't last very long and healed up very quickly.
Just showing you, no fingernails.
Now, just again, I want to reiterate that Lou didn't like the doll and wanted it out of the house.
Yep. Don't understand. She's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's just a doll. Anyway.
They called in the experts.
They called in. So what they decided then is that they were worried now because Donna was scared because something had happened to Lou. So the first thing that they do is they go and contact their priest. Their priest wanted to seek real expert advice. Got the Warrens. So now they're worried that they've got an inhuman demonic spirit rather than what was a living human spirit. So Father Hegan, an Episcopal priest, contacted Father Cook, who contacted the Warrens. They immediately took the case because they would have been... Is this before or after Amityville? I'm not sure.
After.
It have to be after. So after. Because they became famous because of the Amityville case.
Yeah.
So their immediate conclusion, after speaking to Donna, was that it was there was an inhuman spirit, a demonic entity that was residing in there because it was wanting to attach itself to a human. They say that spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys. They possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or object, and this is what has occurred with the Annabelle case. The spirit manipulated the doll to create the illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition, and that it didn't want to stay in the doll, but it wanted to make the human feel safe enough that it could possess them. So this was what they would refer to in possession cases as the infestation stage. And there is 4 stages. There is the infestation, the oppression, the obsession, and then the possession. So by giving permission for this spirit, who had the medium apparently got it all wrong and said it was a little girl, they've given permission for this spirit to enter the house. And then it started to use teleportation to get their curiosity piqued and to try and engage them. Now they're also saying that the marks on Lou were symbolic of some form, and the mark of the beast. I don't know about the 4 lines across and the 3 down that way. There's no photos of them anywhere. Being a symbolic mark of the beast, I thought it was like 666, which again came from a movie.
We don't hear a lot about Lou in this whole story, actually.
No.
He seems to be the perpetrator of everything that happens, but we don't really get a lot about him in all of this.
So what the Warrens thought would be appropriate was to say a prayer throughout the house. It's an Episcopal, I can never say Episcopal. I'm spitting Episcopal. I must be possessed by a demon. I can't say.
Episcopalian exorcism.
No, it was a blessing, and it's actually a 7-page document that is distinctively positive in nature. So it wasn't actually an exorcism. It was
a blessing.
Yeah, it was directed towards filling the home with the power and the positivity of God, according to Ed Warren. And at Donna's request, as a further precaution, they got the Warrens to take the doll home. What happened then, Renata? We're very tired.
So Father Jason, called Lorraine and explained that his brakes had failed. So he, when the doll was in the car.
Right, so this is an interesting little thing that we've got here about Father Jason. So first off, the Warrens took the doll home. Now, as they were driving the doll home, apparently that they had a lot of issues with their car. Now, there is no witnesses to this other than Ed and Lorraine. They said at each dangerous curve, the car swerved and stalled, with every corner causing the power steering and the brakes to fail. I'd say they needed a service on their car. Repeatedly, the car verged on collision. Ed reached into the back seat along with his black bag, took out a vial of holy water and doused the doll, making the sign of the cross, and the disturbances stopped immediately, and the Warrens arrived home safely. Once they got home, they popped the doll into his study, and apparently the doll levitated several times. Again, we only have the word of the Warrens. There is nobody else that witnessed this. During the weeks ensued, however, it showed up in various rooms of the house, and they ended up locking it in the outer building, and they'd come home and find it back in the house. The doll showed a hatred for clergymen. I get that. Sorry, I went to a Catholic school. And for those who know me, it was the Catholic school that was the hotbed of the pedophiles.
In Australia.
In Australia. Luckily for me, they didn't like little girls. Not so lucky for the rest of my classmates. Anyway, so there was Father Jason Bradford, who was a Catholic exorcist, came in and looked at the doll and said, "You're just a rag doll, Annabelle. You can't hurt anyone." And then the Warren said, "Oh no, you should not have said that. The doll's going to come and eat your brains." No. Apparently, as he was driving home, he called the Warrens afterwards and said his brakes had failed as he entered a busy intersection and was involved in a near-fatal accident, destroying his vehicle. And they said there was many cases like this. The Whitby Museum, we've seen that mummified hand. Yeah. It's amazing. It's what they call it, the thieves. Wasn't it something? It was the hand of a thief that's been dipped and waxed to. It's from the Witchcraft Museum. It's amazing. So, there is also the other story of the guy on the motorbike that came to the museum and made fun at Annabelle, locked up in her case. And
so we missed the bit where the Warrens took Annabelle and put her in a locked... You didn't say that, did you?
Oh, I did say they put her in the museum, but now they've got her in a little locked cabinet with salt and rosary beads and everything around her. The coffee will kick in shortly.
Did you guys see the episode where they moved Annabelle? It took hours. They moved Annabelle from one place to another, and they did it live. It's crazy.
So
she turns eventually from this to this. Okay, so because producers see beautiful Annabelle like this, and everyone goes, "Oh, she's cute.
She doesn't look scary.
She doesn't look scary." So they actually had to change her for the movie, and so this is what they created. This gorgeous little creature. Yeah. So when you see all the movies, this is the real Annabelle. Now, number one, is it fair for them to change this to this?
That's part of the Conjuring.
Yeah. Is it fair to do that?
Franchise.
Do people still believe that this is the real Annabelle? Or is it confusing? Or is it a ploy by the moviegoers to, the producers to kind of go, you know what, we know the real story of Annabelle, but we're making a movie, we're making a film. So, yeah, we're going to use a different type of prop. On a good day, Edie?
Shall we call the priest? Yeah, so, I mean, it's misleading people. If this truly was an item that was demonically possessed by an inhuman spirit, this sort of makes you think that only scary, spooky looking things.
Yes.
That's a good angle for her there. She doesn't look too bad there, apart from the blue lips. It's misleading. But
I prefer to do that.
Yeah, I like that. Artistic licensing. Yeah, maybe not using the real one. That would be right. Did you see the episode of Ghost Adventures where Zach had to touch the doll and he goes... Oh boy. Alright, so this is where we run into a lot of issues. Will you stop doing that to a skirt? That we have this whole case built on the impression of people rather than facts. We have the doll who the girls originally thought was beautiful, wonderful. A medium tells them it's the spirit of little girl, so now they've got the idea that it's a ghost, which would put a little bit of fear into you. Lou doesn't like the doll. I personally think that Angie and Donna may have been playing little jokes on each other, moving the doll to start with, and then Lou has got in on it, and he wants the doll out, so he has started to up the ante and pretend that he's getting attacked, or his anxiety has made him believe that.
He could have had an episode of sleep paralysis. With the focus being of the doll.
Yeah.
And yeah, that could have been one of the things.
It could have been part of a nightmare. The fact that the scratches didn't last and they've disappeared, all right, that could have just been leaning on something. I don't know, when he was sleeping. Wouldn't know he was in there, or he could have done it himself to scare the girls with a couple of fingernails. Because if you put like a fingernail scratch down your hand, it will come up red. And then it'll disappear shortly afterwards.
She certainly doesn't have the ability to scratch. If you've got a Raggedy Ann doll, this is all made from material. It's quite soft, actually. So it would have to be a true force of nature to be able to scratch you, or try and choke you. Yeah, but it is
if it had
very,
human strength.
It's very explainable if you have sleep paralysis.
So then we have they contact a priest. So the priest, of course, is going to be coming at it from a religious viewpoint, and they go and get the people who will confirm their viewpoint. They won't go and get somebody from outside of the religious area. They will go and get someone from within the religious faith to confirm that there is something weird going on, and they go and get the Warrens, and the Warrens think everything is demonic. Absolutely everything. Now, all the reports of things that have happened that are truly demonic with Annabelle have come from two people with no eyewitnesses, who have now got this doll, got it in a museum, where they now charge money for people to come in and have a look at her. And then they'll have dinners with Annabelle, where you can go and pay your money. We were reading this article where there were people lined up around the block to go and have dinner with Annabelle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they'd all get to file in past her, and they would make a ton of money off Annabelle. So she became, for something that was supposedly a demonic entity and dangerous for the world,
everyone wants a piece of her.
She became the star of a travelling show, or within the area, and they made bucket tons of money off her from the stories that have been told by two people. So we can't say for certain, but got to use a little bit of common sense in here. Okay? Got to. Got anything to add, Renata?
No.
Thanks for bringing the coffee this morning. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Are there many stories of dolls that have become so demonically possessed that they are out to murder their owners?
She does have shiny eyes, Jan. And we have lights here that are reflecting off her. So if I move her a little bit, it's going to make it look like there is a bit of a blink happening there. I can guarantee you She's not blinking.
Which one do you prefer? Let us know. The real Annabelle or the false...
New or old?
or the false goddess Annabelle. Now, how many movies have been made about Annabelle? Tons. So it's still very much something that is in the psyche of everyone.
And who has the rights to use
they still
Annabelle?
Love to watch her. I wonder whether the original people who had Annabelle get anything from the movies.
I doubt it.
That would be interesting.
I doubt it. Does anyone know the answer to that?
And has anyone here actually seen the real Annabelle?
Some of our American friends may have actually seen it.
Yes, the real one.
I know, Jen. But some people may have thought you were for real, so I thought I'd explain.
But we did do a whole episode on our True Hauntings podcast about these dolls. We do talk about
We talk about Robert too. We've got a whole thing on True Hauntings podcast about Robert the doll. Renata's storytelling of Lou getting attacked. Just have some tissues and clean undies ready because it is so funny. You will, anyway.
I just dig a hole and bury myself.
Yep. She says something wrong and then adds another layer and that's it. We're gone. We're laughing. So we just, I just wanted to, we wanted to cover some information about that and just get everyone thinking about the fact that you maybe shouldn't take the words of psychics and mediums as gospel fact.
That would be interesting, Annie, to know how many famous haunted dolls there are. And the whole thing about dolls goes right back to the very first sort of dolls created. And the very first dolls that were created for children to play with weren't really dolls. They were kind of a bit like a slab of wood with stuff on them because, it was way back when, this fancy stuff wasn't available. So the history of dolls itself is quite interesting, and the sort of biases and beliefs associated with dolls, especially when it comes into dolls being used as a substitute for a real person, which you can actually do like hoodoo and witchcraft stuff with, adds to the the horror and the story. Especially dolls that have eyes. Dolls that have eyes sort of have this thing about them that they can possess a human being's soul. So
dolls have been used for centuries.
Yeah.
Centuries. Now, Andrew, you said there that the museum is said to be one of the most haunted places in the world. So where does the information come from? Who are telling the stories about the hauntings within the museums? Now, this is a little quote that I've got from the Texas State University Assistant Professor, Joseph Laycock. He said it's full of off-the-shelf Halloween junk dolls and toys, books, and you can buy it at any bookstore. So it's almost like it's dressed to look like it's a scary thing. Is it truly haunted, or are people going in there with a heightened state of anxiety because they think they're going into somewhere where there is a lot of haunted items, and therefore any little thing that happens to them, they're going to be jumpy and think that there is something going on. Now, the other thing we had with the Warrens Museum is that Ed would tell stories about things that happened with Annabelle, and apparently their stories used to change all the time. I don't know, I just want everyone to sort of really think outside the square.
Now, we do have our own haunted doll here in Australia.
Oh, what's his name?
And this
it's particular, a really weird name.
Yeah, this particular doll looks very much like a gypsy doll. And we will do because it's got its own Facebook page as well.
So does Robert.
It's a very famous Australian haunted doll.
We've got a scammer! Hi, Delhi Modu Boop. You know what? We're going to curse you because you are scum of the earth. You are coming onto our page with our beautiful people and you are trying to rip them off because you will say, inbox me for a private, accurate reading, and then you will say to them, you've got a dark attachment and you need to pay us money to get rid of it. So do you know what? I hope your mother-in-law stands behind your marital bed forevermore and that you get fleas in your crotch and also many other horrible aspersions, including diarrhea for the rest of your life. Now get off our page before we get our little voodoo out and we stab you. Bye.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's how we deal with scammers.
I like scammers. I have a little bit of fun.
You called that in today.
I know, I did, because I said I love the scammers.
Oh, Lordy.
So the Delhi Modupe.
Yeah, watch out. And the curse of Annabelle is coming to you, Delhi.
Yeah. With her rattling skirts. All right, let's get on with some reading, shall we? I've got to grab my cards. Pop Annabelle up there.
Bye-bye, Annabelle. I love you.
Right, so for those who don't know this segment of the show, this is where we do readings for real. We don't charge you money and tell you you've got dark attachments and all that sort of
I'll give you a break. I might.
delay.
I might.
And what you do is ask your question, right? Please don't ask about health. Please don't ask about personal relationship questions because you don't want to air that stuff on social media.
You might.
If you can be a little bit specific about what your question is, that would be good. If you just want a general reading from your what does the universe need to tell you, do that as well. I know, Belinda, we haven't had a troll in so long.
She's been waiting to do that for ages.
Oh, Paranormal United Network, you're going to boot us off.
Get used to it. We're Australian.
All right.
There are no filters. Annie, don't ask
I don't know, Stephen. I was channeling.
Don't ask us about the Warrens, please. We've been dealing with we've been researching their cases for a couple of months now,
and it's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it's getting really hard. And
I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but yeah. Anyway, let's get up here. We've got Sydney James, who I would like a reading and not from a scammer. All right, Sydney.
Okay, Sydney. Now, obviously, I read tarot cards, so that's why I'm madly shuffling. So I'm going to choose a card for you, Sydney. The one that comes off the top of the deck right now. And you have a Fool card, which is enormously fantastic.
Ooh, interesting.
As long as you really see it with the generous disposition that it is giving you. This is a card that talks about the joy of starting new things and of expecting the unexpected. So living from a point of manifesting your future and going, no, I'm going to be freaking fabulous from this point on, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. And if you think of life and everyday living in that respect, it's like you're kind of touched by the fairy dust fairy.
Oh,
you know?
How fabulous is that?
Ping! Everything's fabulous because your mindset is, hey, I'm going in the right direction and everything's going to be fine. So Sydney, if you need a lift, if you need to be in a place where you kind of think, oh, no, I've got to get out of this humdrum life that I am living.
It's interesting, my card I've got for you.
This is the time when you should feel really good.
I just want to let you all know she is gifted and talented. I read the Naughty Spirit Oracle cards and I make it up as I go along. But quite interesting, I don't have talent in this area, so I keep saying, but seems to ring true sometimes. Now, these cards tend to use very naughty words, so I will substitute with something a little more appropriate that will not offend our delicate ears. So, Sydney, you need to take a teensy, weensy, fluffy, bunny baby step. At least you're still fluffy bunny moving. So you are stuck in a rut. You need to get out of your rut and just take a step in some bloody direction, any direction, and that will get you moving again, and then you'll at least know what suits and what doesn't suit, which I thought was interesting with your fill card.
Yes. Yep.
How cool is that?
Thank you, Sydney.
Annie, what is our opinion on the Warrens?
Move on. Should I choose a card for them? No.
No, because they've already gone. Oh,
they've done their thing.
Oh, hang on, we've got another one. Oh, Fekamu Duo Boabi, suffering from, and you've found somebody that you've been cured from hepatitis.
God. Praise
be Beelzebub's obviously come to your rescue and saved you. So do you know what Fekamu? Oh, it's such a good Fekumo.
Duo Boabi.
Yeah.
Duo Boabi.
Get off our page!
I've heard that name before.
This is not your moment in time. You are a scammer. This is just, look, use your powers for good, will you, please?
Yeah, look, if you've been cured of hepatitis, money should be just flowing your way without you coming onto our page and scamming our gorgeous people. Fekumo.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Fekumo, give us money, will you? Give us some stars for Kumo right now, or we're getting rid of all of your bits and pieces here. Give us stars because you're amazing. You have been cured by the love of all angels on all dimensions for Kumo.
Yep. And if you don't get off our page, I wish you infected dick cheese for the rest of your life. Bye. Block. Right, there we go. They've gone. That's nice. Right, where were we? We were giving love and light messages to our beautiful people here.
Oh dear, there was a big long message from someone, but
I think it might have been Crispy.
Hi, Liz McCoy. We'll be in Norfolk Island very, very shortly.
Oh, Tyler, I'm going to remember that one. Should have told them to sneeze while they had diarrhea and pooped themselves. I love it. Oh, you are my people.
Oh boy.
Oh, Belinda wants to know, may I have a card, please? I just pulled up the Cash Converters, which is a PAWN pawn store. Had to spell it because otherwise people get confused with the PORN store. She wants to know what gem that she will find upon her entry.
I wouldn't go in and I wouldn't spend any money.
I've got a feeling you might have a scammer there.
Do not spend any money, Belinda. Do not. The Five of Pentacles says all you're going to get is poor. That's it.
Right, Betty would like a good reading, so please no bad ones today.
Okay.
No bad readings, just a good one.
No pressure. You have gotten rid of
Fakumo,
look, have you?
Fakumo's had herpes, bless you. That's such a difficult thing. That's just an itch you want to scratch, isn't it?
Yeah, but he would.
Hope you didn't have sex with anyone during that time.
He would have got that because of things that he was doing that were very naughty.
You shouldn't do that to animals, Fakumo.
Jeez. Betty, just for a moment of seriousness. You have the King of Cups, my darling. So there is someone, a male, around you who really wants to help, assist and protect you through difficult times. This is a moment in time when you need to look for stability, when you need to look for someone who won't tell you love and light and fluff, but will actually tell you information that is grounding and that will steer you clear of your own tendency to overthink things and to catastrophize things. So steadiness, calmness, being able to see through difficulties without catastrophizing them, seeing for the reality that they really are, and look for stable people. If you have in the past really had difficulties with friendships or you've chosen the wrong people to be around, those that have dragged you down, this is a really important time to choose the right people to be with. And that can change many, many things.
All right, so beautiful Betty, you need to meditate the bull patties out of that one. I want you to just sit quietly and think about what's upsetting you and think, is this really something that is an issue, or is it just my imagination that is making mountains out of molehills or poops out into bull patties? So yeah, maybe just not overthink things and make mountains out of molehills.
Stephen is asking us what our opinion on trolls is.
Love trolls? Good fun.
Can you go back about 5 minutes? You'll be able to see what our opinion on trolls is.
All right. Here we're on to... I'd like a reading on whether I'm on the right path in my life or not.
Absolutely, Annie.
Any path's a good path.
Any path is a good path as long as you keep walking forward, my darling, and not backwards.
Yeah. And the problem was that when you're walking forwards looking over your shoulder, you tend to trip over things. So look forwards.
And this card, the Five of Cups, is a card that says that you're very much stuck in a place where sometimes the darkness is overwhelming, and sometimes you may continually go back in your thoughts with regard to what hasn't gone right. So the path that you have chosen may be one that consists of what you believe is a lot of healing that needs to be done. And that's fair enough. But if you come from a place where you're continually thinking that for some reason you are broken or that there is something wrong with you, it's really hard to get out of that mindset. So one of the first things that I would suggest is to come from a point of view that says, I'm not broken, I'm fine, and I can manage everything. That's where we go back to that beautiful Fool card that we had for the gorgeous lady that the card was picked for first off today. We're not broken. We've just gone through our shit, our stuff, and we are different people than we were before. But if your mind continually goes back to those things that were not successful or didn't work, then it's going to be really tough to keep going and to move forward. Your path is a good path because there is change coming, but look forward to that change. Don't look at it as something that may be threatening to you.
All right. Also, you need to stop being so fanarkling stubborn, my girlfriend. You get your mind set about something and you go, that's the way I'm going to do it, and then things start to crumble around you. You're not prepared to change and modify and move forward. You're a bit of a control freak, maybe, just a little tad. Try to go with the flow instead of against the flow of the universe as it tries to help you.
So Jan has said something really interesting there. She says, I was working in Zambia pre-COVID. There were a few posters up around the city trying to flog magical wallets and cups, which are actually used by Jesus. Wow!
Wow, Jesus got down into Zambia, apparently.
How many cups did Jesus use?
Were they menstrual cups?
No.
Oh, okay.
Goodness gracious. And wallets. I didn't know Jesus had pockets.
Well, he had to keep his shekels in something. Jeez, Renata, don't you know anything?
No.
All right, so we're up to Kayla O'Shea. Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla. A card for you off the top. And you have the Ten of Wands. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing to yourself, Kayla? You are so busy you cannot see daylight when it comes across your path. My goodness. So sometimes we actually get ourselves into this bind. We won't allow other people to help. We'll just say, I'll do it. I'll do it, thank you very much, because no one can do it like I can. So trusting in others to actually be of assistance and helping and reaching out for help, Kayla, is probably the biggest lesson that you need to do right now.
Okay, and Kayla, look at you. Money for Narkling loves you, and even Annabelle's looking at that card in amazement up the back there. So
look at her face.
I know. So what you need to do is start looking for all those little positive money moments in your life. Instead of concentrating on the negative stuff, look at the stuff. Go around your house and find all your gift certificates, all your loose coins, and everything that you actually do have, because you don't realise how good you got it. So Money for Narkling loves you. Where would you like to go?
Home.
We've just started our day. We've got a lot to do.
Jesus was a Pisces, was he?
Oh, look, and neither can we wait, because I tell you, once we get on location, this is what you get.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. Brian needs a reading.
Hi, Brian.
I like your hat.
We got a man from Texas.
Well, what's Stephen? Chopped liver?
Sorry, Stephen. Yeah, you want to do an investigation with us. Your life will never be the same. Could use a reading. We're thinking to move to Austin, Texas in July. Oh dear. Oh, what are you trying to get away from, Brian? Let me see. Drawing a card for you. Oh, look, the Chariot card. Yes. Just move. It's a new start. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel as though you're leaving the past behind and moving on. And the Chariot card is really, really good. Except for the fact that when you do this, don't be emotional about it. Just do it from the reality perspective. What is in it for you? That's what you have to look at. And it is a move that must be made from the point of view of the whole and absolute, all of you needs to go, I'm ready to do this. And it'll be good.
And do you know what? Even my cards with no ability whatsoever back it up, because it says trust your ability for finagling sake. In other words, you know you want to do this. You know it's going to be good. So trust yourself. Trust it. And if it all goes wrong, I have no ability whatsoever and I don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Now I want to answer this one for Carmen. My kid is missing a lot of kindergarten because of getting colds, so much as a sniffle. COVID rules. Get worried and angry about my kids falling behind other kids and having to struggle.
It's really awful, Carmen. I wish there was a magic wand that could take all of this away, but we are in this for the long haul and we need to get through it. And I totally understand what you're going through. It is building his immune system, and kids often in kindergarten get attacked by a whole lot of nasty little bugs.
That's where they build up their immune system.
Because it's building up their immune system. You know, we figure we put everyone in a little bubble of security now. Everything is super clean and becomes super resistant to things. Actually having them have sniffles and getting head lice and coming home with diarrhea and all of that sort of stuff actually builds their gorgeous little immune systems and makes them stronger in the end.
But isn't it so that the reason why they've got to stay home is so that they don't bring COVID home to the parents?
Yeah.
Or they don't spread it around. That's where I think the issue.
Yeah, I know.
I mentioned the C word. That means this.
It's a little bit harder over there. And we are so lucky in Australia at the moment that here, no one wears masks. It's like it's normal. It's normal.
And if you're really worried, Carmen, contact your kindergarten teacher and find out what they've been doing in class and do a little bit of work and play with them based on what the teacher has been teaching. Kindergarten level I can keep up with. It's that once they get to that year one that I get lost because I can't keep up.
Yeah, Carmen might be working flat out too, and that's a problem as well. Oh,
all right.
Sorry, Carmen. That's awful.
Is Viewy? May I have a card, please?
Yes, you may.
Work thy work, you wonderful and magical ladies. Oh my God! Somebody tell my husband I'm a wonderful magical lady, please.
Okay, you have the Five of Wands.
Oh, they're having stick fights. I like stick fights.
Five of Wands, and this is about people taking you off the track, taking you off what your focus should be, and making you doubt yourself. So they're diverting your attention. And this is where, and sometimes you divert your own attention. So it's all like
squirrel,
sparkly stuff over there. I'm going to go over there and think about that. Not really keep my eye on what it is that I need to be doing. So you need to stay super focused right now and don't listen to what other people or your own brain says about what you can and can't do.
Now apparently the algorithms really like it when you send love hearts, smiley faces and things like that. Can you chuck us a whole heap of love hearts and smiley faces so that Facebook thinks we're doing a great job? It would be very much appreciated. Make sure also if you're on YouTube that you have subscribed to our channel, Anne and Renata, and if you're on the Paranormal United Networks, please make sure you subscribe to them as well. They are producing so much amazing content,
True.
Particularly for people who are wanting to start off in the paranormal. They've got a great class called the Paranormal Educators. Paranormal, is that right? Keep forgetting what it is. Ghost Education 101. And really good, solid information, not airy-fairy, biased stuff. All right, so I've got to get my card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, be a badass. That basically means you need to be a little bit more edgy with what you're doing, assert yourself a little bit more, and not back off and be timid. So you need to assert yourself a little bit more. Where are you going, Renata?
I'm going to Viola.
But I'd just like to say that Kayla said that she won 2,000 on the pokies. Woo! Told you money effing loves you. There you go. Now don't put it all back in. Viola, could I get a reading for my future career or whatever I need to hear? Thank you.
Okay, Viola, gorgeous picture of you. You're a bit of a spunky, pretty lady.
I think Renata likes you.
You have the Judgment card. So when things are about to change or you're supposed to be going up to the next level of supreme greatness, you have a moment where you go, oh, I might not be able to do that. And, oh, you know, what are my friends going to say? What are people going to say about me if I do that? Maybe they'll think I'm a big, egotistical, narcissistic,
like they think about us.
And I just won't. So you keep yourself small, Viola. So when you are thinking about your career and your future, my darling, think big. Think big and don't worry about what other people are going to say, because this opportunity will pass you by and you'll end up being
some other bugger
old
gets it
and crazy and going, I should have done that.
Anyway, my naughty cards say, get out of your own fluffy bunny way.
See?
You're your own worst enemy. So you're putting up all these, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Oh, no, I can't do that. Just give it a try. Even trying, you will learn something new. It's fabulous.
Bella, any time is a good time to buy a dog, especially if you get one that is a rescue. There are beautiful, beautiful dogs out there that want love and they want a warm, beautiful home to be with, and a person to be with and to be their master. Get a dog.
And the thing is, you have so much love to give.
Yeah.
Your puppy would not have wanted you to keep that love from another animal. They would want you to give that to someone else. And it's not that they're replacing the dog that you had. They're a new path, a new journey for you with a new consciousness, a new personality. So, yeah, go get yourself a dog. We don't need to pull a card on that.
Oh, Jodie, look, we've got a few people here that are asking questions. We can't get to everyone, but Jodie Connell is saying, I'm guessing the universe doesn't want me to hear the answer to my question.
I haven't seen your question. What happens is we get a lot of questions and the news feed jumps because it all builds up, and then it just jumps and we lose everything. So we do our best to try and get through as many, but we just go to the ones that we are drawn to. And I haven't even written them down today, so I don't even know. I liked Edie's comment there of I built up my immune system by shacking up with philandering.
I had that worked well for you, Edie.
Hey, Sue, congratulations on the inheritance.
No European vacation. No, stay at home. Stay at home for now. It's not safe out there.
2 or 3 years' time?
Yep.
Nice European vacation.
Yes, fantastic. Don't go now.
How do you two de-stress and wind down?
Like this?
We don't. We
Kayla,
collapse in a heap every now and then and go, and the other one picks it up and keeps going until the other one picks themselves up again.
Yeah, star signs and traits are
interesting,
very
isn't it?
interesting. Very interesting. I wouldn't kind of 100% rely on them, but they are interesting to read.
Where is Bart Costy? I want to see where Bart Costy is, Stephen. I can't see his name anywhere. I'll give Bart a reading if he pops out a question. The fabulous Australian ladies. We don't often get called ladies. We get called lots of other things.
We get called a lot more now than now because we are the ambassadors for Australia.
Yeah.
For 2020.
Yeah.
What? Don't we get called a lot of things?
Got to get a t-shirt with that across my chest. I can have big words across my chest because I've got a lot of room.
Okay, Jan, coming to you. will I get a new overseas job? Oh, wow.
Oh, and we're up to the hour. We've got to get off because there's other
yes.
people. Last one.
Okay, last one. Queen of Pentacles, yes. Yes, you will, and it will be awesome. Absolutely awesome for you. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Oh, and that's another one. You've got to sit down and think about that really carefully and make sure that you have worked out all the pros and the cons and think, is this really the right thing for me? Just watch your timing, though, because of the rotten Rona. Look, sorry, we've gone a little bit over time. My apologies to the Paranormal United Network.
We got taken up by
the trolls.
Enthusiasm.
Anyway, Queens, thank you, Jodie. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is for the whole world. It's not just for UK and USA. So I thank you all for joining us from wherever you are.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week from Norfolk Island. We are hoping that the signal there will allow us to go live. Once we get there on Friday, we'll be able to work out where the good hot spots are to be able to go live. And oops, sorry, I just forgot that I've clicked the wrong button because it's all
and sorry
jumping.
To have missed you. If you asked for a reading today, we are back every week, so jump back on next week at the same time and ask your question. Hopefully we'll get to you at some point in time.
I seem to think we're connected at the hip.
Yeah,
we see more of each other than our husbands. Anyway, love yous all, and we'll see you on the dark side. Bye.